Hi, my name is Paul Church from Claritystamp here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of YouTube Tuesday. Today, I'd like to showcase a card using some of our 4x4 aperture dies. We've got three beautiful birds in this collection. We have the pair of wrens, the pair of waxwings, and a pair of crested tits. And today, I'm going to be using the crested tits. So what I thought I would do, let's have a look at this card here, is you'll see I've die cut in black and layered it up onto some of our designer paper. And then what I've done is I've filled in the birds. So most people call this paper piecing, or you can call it sort of colouring with paper. I suppose you can, it's like a jigsaw puzzle really. So let's get started. What are we going to do first? First of all, I'm going to die cut the card itself. So I've taken a 5x5 card blank and I've cut it in half, and I'm going to attach the die to it, cutting side down. We'll take some low tack tape just to hold our die in position and make sure it doesn't move when we run it through the machine. So we'll position that there and we'll position that just there. Then I'm going to bring in my plates. I'm using a Gemini. Our dies work in all leading die cutting machines. So I've got my cutting plate, a poly pocket, my card blank face down, die face down, frosted sheet, magnetic sheet to act as a shim, and a clear, the plastic cutting plate. And we'll run that through the machine. Okay, so now for the reveal. So we're going to open up our plates, carefully remove the low tack tape. And what you'll notice with our dies is that they're blue. One, because it's the colour of clarity, but two, they have a special coating on it. So what that means is that it releases very easily from the card blank. And then when I lift this up, you'll notice that all the pieces fall away nice and easy, he says, as they just get caught. So I'm just going to remove the waste, and then I'm just going to use the little brush just to get rid of those little bits. I could tap on my hand and that'll do the same job. And then just push that one out. And then if I bring a piece of white card into play, I can check then that all the pieces have been removed. Okay, so that's step one. So I'll get rid of all of this. I'm just going to tap out and make sure my die is nice and empty. There we go, just use the little brush just on the back. It's got all the lovely little release holes in there, but it doesn't really need much work. So let's have a look. There we go. If I hold that up now, you'll see that all the card has fallen away. So we'll just pop this in the bin and pop this to one side. The next thing I'm going to do, let's have a look at the card. The next thing I want to do is create my layers. Now I'm not going to bore you with cutting out, keep running through the machine. So all I've done is I've taken our nested squares to create our little panel. So that creates a frame to take the blackness away. And then I've taken a piece of designer paper. This is from the Great Lakes collection. If you want to have a look at what's included in that, go to our website and search for Great Lakes, and then there's a little video on there that flicks through all the pages. You get 12 different designs and you get 4 sheets of each design. So I've gone for this really nice, vibrant, spotty one. So that's given me the pieces just there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assemble the card blank. So I'm going to take my card blank here. I'm going to use a tape runner. You can use a tape runner, double-sided tape, wet glue. The choice is entirely up to you. Then I'm going to have this as a side opening or top opening. I reckon a side opening on this one. Position that one just there and press down. Next, I'm going to take my die cut, and for this I'm going to use a wet glue. So let's just pop a bit of card underneath so you can see. So what I'm going to do first is just put some glue just into some of the areas, so that what it will do, it will just hold it in place on the card. You could use a spray adhesive if you want, but sometimes I find with those that they can leave like a residue around the outside. So using a wet glue, I just find it's easier to do that. Okay, and then we'll just put some glue around the outside, and then we're going to stick that into position. So again, using the wet glue gives you that little bit of maneuverability in order to make sure it goes on. Whoops, too much maneuverability if you're heavy-handed like I am. So we're going to press that down, and then we're going to turn it over and rub from behind. There we go. Next, I'm going to take my panel. So I could go dotty, but I think by having it plain works really well. So, whoops. So we're going to put some wet glue again just on the back. On there. You don't need a lot, because what you don't want, if you put too much on, you're going to get like the mayonnaise effect where when you press it down it squidges out, like when you bite into a sandwich. And now I'm going to position that just on there. So again, because it's a wet glue, I can move it around a little bit until I'm happy with its position. And next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my die cutting machine as a press or as a mangle. Clear mat, the frosted sheet, and the clear plate again. And what that does, where I've glued those little parts, it will make sure they stick permanently. Okay, there we go. So that in itself works as it is. But you can see, because we've got that really detailed pattern in the background, you sort of lose sight of the birds really. So this is where the paper piecing or the colouring with paper fits in. So I'm going to use my Polly Pocket, and then when I cut out my squares, I've got all these scraps of paper. Okay, so I'm going to choose the lightest parts. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one bird at a time. So I'm going to put that there, have a look at the die, and I can position it so I get just the body of the bird. Now to stop it sticking, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take magic solution, it's called water. It's a tip that Barbara came up with. And if I just give the die a light spritz, okay, and then position that where I want it to be in place, pop the frosted plate on top, magnetic shim, and then the clear plate, and then run this through. Okay, so this is where we need to sort of take a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carefully open up my sandwich. This is another technique that Barbara came up with. It's called trap the scrap. And if you want to know more about trapping the scrap, then have a look at our YouTube library, and you'll find, I'm sure there's one or two videos out there where Barbara's demonstrated how to do that. So what I want to do now is carefully, I don't want to take the die off, because what I want to do is catch the bits that are in the die, the bits that we normally throw away. So I'm going to bring that over, flip it over slowly, and then carefully remove that. Okay, so what I now want to do is very carefully just remove the actual die cut. Now if I'd done this on a bigger piece of paper, I'd have the complete die cut, but all I'm interested in really is the waste that we would normally throw away. So I'm going to pop that there just in case there's any bits in here that I still need. So you can see all this area here is infilled that we're now going to pop into our design. What I'm going to do now is take a wet glue and I'm just going to fill in the areas with the glue. Again, not too much, otherwise I'm going to get the mayonnaise effect. And I've got a leg there and then a leg there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the elements out and infill it into the card. So I've taken a bit of blue or white tack on the end of a groovy tool, and what that does is it allows me to pick up those pieces and position them into place. I can turn it over. Pop it in place. And we're now colouring in or paper piecing just parts of the design. Okay, so there's bird number one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on and we'll fast forward this bit as well. I'm just going to repeat the process and cut out on another piece of paper the other bird so I get a different colourway. So I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so that didn't take too long, did it? So there we've got our finished card, but do you know what? It needs something. It needs like a word or a sentiment or a verse or a thought. So we've got these lovely sticker words, and we've got a couple of different designs. So we've got glass half full and one day at a time. And when we look, if I go, probably the white on would stand out a lot better. We've got some great little sort of sentiments. Don't worry, be happy, smile. Hugs, kisses and sweet birthday wishes. When in doubt, hang about. And these are all words that Barbara uses in everyday life. I mean, when we're working together, I can read this and think, yeah, Barbara said this the other day. Or half hour ago, Barbara, we was talking and she said, yep, some of these words. Enjoy the journey. I don't know where she was telling me to go, but dreams come true. All you need is love. So we can decide, but they're available in white and also in black. So I reckon I'm going to go with, I think this one's quite nice. Don't worry, be happy. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to pop that, I think, across there. You know what, I'm going to, they're slightly repositionable, so it gives you, if you put it down and you think, oh, I've gone a bit wonky, you can lift it back off. So I'm probably going to go across so it overlaps the frame. There we go, what do you reckon? Don't worry, be happy. For me, that's what crafting is all about. So there you go, a really quick, it can be quick, and easy card. So thanks for tuning in again. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, then please like and subscribe below if you're not already a subscriber. Barbara blogs every single day and the information's below, which is barbaragrayblog.com. And if you like any of the products or want to see what we're all about, then check out our website, claritystamp.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.